A weeks-long fight is coming to an end. Why a Sun Prairie woman spent this summer frustrated with a local college while trying to rebuild after the recent gas explosion.
This is News 3 at 6.
Good evening to all of you. This is a live look outside Miller Park where the Brewers are taking on the Colorado Rockies. Right now, the score is 0-2. Brewers up in the 6th inning. We will get an update from Jay Wilson and fan reaction in just a few minutes. But first, a woman who lost her home in the Sun Prairie explosion is dealing with another unusual stressor.
She was enrolled in an online course with Madison College and attended only one class before the explosion happened. She says Madison College denied her request twice for a full refund. Our Jamie Perez spent time with that woman today and joins us now in the studio with her story. Jamie?
So as of this afternoon, the school did offer her a full refund just 30 minutes after I interviewed her today, so she will get 100% back. But of course, it took quite some time to get to this point.
Angie has really been through it this summer.
It's been crazy.
After losing her home in the Sun Prairie explosion, she's done everything she can to move on.
Every time I think I'm moving on from the explosion, something brings me back. And it's like, I just want to go back to normal.
Normal doesn't quite describe what she's been through, though.
I'm frustrated. I want this done.
Angie was enrolled in an online course at MATC. She attended just one class before she lost her home. She dropped the class, but was denied a full refund.
I don't know why you would be denied. That sounds crazy. Let's submit it again.
She only got 80% of that refund. MATC said that's all she qualified for.
That still wasn't good enough, I guess.
She fought for that 100% twice.
I got a letter last night when I got home, saying I was denied. Again.
That last 20% may not seem like a lot, but for Angie.
But when I'm starting all over and I'm the only income, every little bit, helps.
She says she submitted everything that was required. Proof of residence, lease termination, insurance, photos. Still not good enough.
Why do I keep getting denied then?
After expressing her frustration on social media and bringing it to our attention, she waited for action to be taken.
I hope I hear some good news today.
Well, we got that good news 30 minutes after we interviewed her. She got her money back.
It's another chapter closed. I mean, I'm still dealing with other issues.
When asked for an explanation as to why this happened to begin with, the president of MATC gave us this response, saying, quote, "Student success is essential at Madison College. We will do everything we can to support our students' needs and concerns as they reach their goals. In this case, the student will be receiving a 100% tuition refund."
Now, that quote there did not exactly address why her request was denied twice to begin with, but the president was not available for additional comment or an on-camera interview today. But at the end of the day, Angie told me she's glad that she can just move on.
I'm glad it all got resolved. Jamie Perez reporting. Thanks, Jamie.
Platteville police are looking into a scary situation. A woman told officers a stranger tried dragging her across the street early Thursday morning. She said the man followed her and grabbed her on Roundtree Avenue. She was able to break free once and yell for help before the man grabbed her again. He left the area when people in the area were alerted. Police believe the man followed her from the 2nd and Main Street area. Anyone with information should call investigators at 608-348-2313.
We're learning more about why charges were dropped against a man accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman this spring. Our Rose Schmidt explains.
Matthew Levin was facing 4 felony charges, including kidnapping, sexual assault, strangulation, and false imprisonment. But now all those charges have been dismissed.
This case started in March when a 25-year-old woman walked into a gas station and said someone was trying to hurt her. Court documents show 50-year-old Matthew Levin met that woman at a restaurant and offered her a ride home. Police say instead he drove her to the auto shop he owns in Monona and assaulted her. Documents show the woman convinced Levin to go to that gas station, and that's where she was able to escape.
We charged Mr. Levin with what we believe we could prove.
Levin was arrested and charged, but this week a Dane County judge dismissed all charges. The question we asked the Dane County District Attorney is why.
In that case, we ran into some proof issues. Those proof issues are connected to an open case.
That open case involves 31-year-old Corey Ivy. Documents show Ivy told Levin that if he paid him $50,000, Ivy would have the alleged assault victim write a note saying the sexual assault and kidnapping incident never happened. Police later arrested Ivy when he showed up to get the money. Ozan wouldn't offer any further details on the investigation of that case, but says it's what led to the charges being dismissed against Levin.
At this time, I believe we are where we are. I don't know if new information would come forward that would allow us to revisit that case.
Corey Ivy is scheduled to appear back in court in December. For WISC News 3, I'm Rose Schmidt.
We reached out to Matthew Levin's attorney for comment, but have not heard back.
Turning to weather now, a much cooler day for us compared to yesterday. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Charlotte. That's also a big change from the thunderstorm threat that we had yesterday. And tomorrow will be much different than today because the rain chances will come back. We have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow, mainly tomorrow night, for the possibility for some more flooding as showers and thunderstorms could produce locally heavy rainfall. There's an outside chance of an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm with gusty winds and hail being the main threats. As we look at visible cloud track, we had plenty of sunshine today. Look at the clouds streaming down the length of Lake Michigan. The lake waters are warm relative to the cooler air aloft, and that's causing lake effect clouds to form. Meanwhile, out to the west, a large area of clouds is growing. You can see rain there, even some snow mixed in over parts of North Dakota. Now, tomorrow, the severe weather outlook does have a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms from Madison southward for an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm, mainly tomorrow night. A flash flood watch has also been issued for much of south central and southwestern Wisconsin into Saturday morning from tomorrow evening. Precipitation potential through midday Saturday, perhaps another 1 to 2, maybe locally 3 inches of rain down toward the Illinois state line from showers and thunderstorms mainly tomorrow night. Areas north of Madison should see lesser amounts of rain. Our high temperature of 66 is early this morning just after the passage of a cold front. Temperatures dropped off to 41 early this morning, and we're in the 30s to our north and west. Current temperatures are just barely above 50 in Madison and already in the 40s over much of western and central Wisconsin. By tomorrow morning, we'll see temperatures back in the upper 40s as we drop to the middle 40s around midnight. Rain showers develop overnight. Then tomorrow we'll see some showers and thunderstorms late in the afternoon or at night. The high at 59. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, thank you, Gary. Playoff baseball is underway tonight at Miller Park.
The Milwaukee Brewers are hosting the Colorado Rockies in the National League Division Series, and we have team coverage as the Brewers look to advance. Amy Reed is live at Miller Park hanging out with the Brew Crew.
And sports director Jay Wilson joins us now with an update on what's happening in the game. The Brewers still up 2-0, Jay?
So far, yeah, the Brewers have actually won their last 8 games, and they have ridden that momentum into the lead in the first game of the National League Division Series at Miller Park against the Colorado Rockies. Christian Yelich is doing Christian Yelich-type things as an MVP for the National League. He hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 3rd. Reliever Brandon Woodruff got the start on one of those bullpen days. He was great, allowing just 1 walk in his 3 innings of work. It's 2-0 Brewers as they play at the bottom of the 6th inning at Miller Park. And by the way, if you're wondering, Christian Yelich is under contract with the Brewers for 4 more years, and he's a bargain at $15 million in his highest paid year in the last of those 4 years of his contract. So he's going to be around for a while, and he's going to be something.
That is good news. So far, so good. All right, thanks, Jay.
Amy Reed joins us live now from Miller Park. Hi, Amy.
Yeah, it's a little brisk out here. Thank goodness we got some postseason baseball to keep us warm. First postseason appearance since 2011. You can imagine the crew here is excited. They were out in the parking lot since 1 o'clock this afternoon hosting that tailgate. It was full of people grilling and playing games, trying to kill some time until that much anticipated first pitch. Now, a lot of times this tailgate gets more exciting than the games themselves, but not this time, not for postseason. And we found one father and son out here who drove 3 hours for this. They've been watching the Brewers since Tyler was a kid, and his dad, Randy, said he's been listening to it on the radio even longer. But here's the kicker. The dad said that he had no idea that they were going to be watching Game 1 in person until his son showed up at his door and said, "Get in the car, Dad. We are headed to Milwaukee."
He's like, "Well, when are we leaving?" I said, 10 minutes. So he's like, "Wow, I better get ready."
I was going. There was no me thinking about it. So, yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah, no way that they're missing that. Well, Mom was in on it too. She packed a bag and she had it ready to go. It's a very exciting father-son adventure. Now, Tyler and Randy are inside watching their first ever playoff baseball game here at Miller Park. We're going to stick here all night. We're going to go inside, watch some baseball, and talk to the very excited Brew crew. Back to you.
Oh, such a difficult assignment for you today,
Yes.
Amy. Enjoy. Thank you so much.
News 3 is your place to turn for Brewers coverage. Jay will have another update on the score coming up in just a little bit in sports. Our flash flood threat returns tomorrow. Gary has the first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
And it's a happy ending for one man who called for action after his cross-country move did not go as planned. That story next at 6.
Ashley.
Two hospitals in our area are receiving awards today for their commitment to hiring people with disabilities.
Both UW Hospital and the Veterans Hospital were honored this morning in a ceremony. Governor Walker has declared October Disability Employment Awareness Month as a way to encourage businesses to hire this workforce. Today's award was given out by the Department of Workforce Development.
We have a call for action update to tell you about. A Wisconsin family is finally getting their personal belongings back nearly 4 months after they hired an out-of-state moving company to help them on their journey to Florida. Chris Bauman and his family made the decision to move to Fort Lauderdale this summer. He hired Titan Moving and Storage, which quoted him around $6,000, but when movers showed up, that price doubled. So Chris ended up paying about $9,000, but his family's stuff never made it to Florida. Titan finally gave Bauman an address to pick up his belongings in Indianapolis, but then he was told his stuff was actually in Illinois. Well, this week, Bauman made the drive with a moving van and was finally reunited with his stuff valued at more than $100,000. Some area teachers are proving their talents run beyond the classroom.
Watch as they prove they have soul as they take part in a special carpool karaoke.
After a nice day today, showers and thunderstorms will move back in, especially for tomorrow night. Some of those could produce heavy rain. I'll take a look at your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
biggest
The Budweiser Clydesdales are visiting Madison this month. They'll be on Regent Street October 24th. According to a Facebook event, the horses will be hitching at the Red Zone Madison and later making stops at Jordan's Big Ten Pub, the Scotty Bar, and Lucky's Brew Pub.
Some of the teachers at Eastside Elementary decided to have a little fun, carpool karaoke style.
Respectful, responsible, safe, and trust. At Eastside School, these are a must.
Hey, that was cool.
That was really cool.
Should we do some more?
Let's do that one again.
Okay.
Let's just do that one again. That was so good. Respectful, responsible, safe, and trust. At Eastside School, these are a must.
They recorded themselves driving around singing songs to help students with everyday school life. They also decided to channel their inner Drake as they added other teachers into the mix.
Eastside, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you and I need you.
This was the first time this crew did one of these types of videos. The district posted the video to its Facebook page, and we have it on our website, channel3000.com, if you want to watch the entire video.
Love it. And now to weather. Gary's watching a big chance for rain over the next couple days. Gary?
Yeah, we'll see some rain late tonight into tomorrow morning. That shouldn't be too bad, but tomorrow night, the potential is there for some heavier showers and thunderstorms. So we have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow night. There could be some more instances of flooding, especially in areas that get heavy amounts of rain. Could be looking at 1 to 3 inches of rain and heavier thunderstorms, mainly from Madison southward. And a couple of those thunderstorms could be rather strong, with gusty winds and hail being the main threats. Now, as we look at visible cloud track, we had a nice day today, but here's something to note. Look at the clouds coming down the length of Lake Michigan. The lake waters are warmer than the air. Now that the air is starting to cool down and the waters haven't had a chance to cool off. So we're seeing these lake effect clouds. Another month or so, there'll be lake effect snow showers down into Indiana and Michigan. But to our west, it's this growing area of clouds that we're watching, already producing some light rain showers and, yes, even some snow up in parts of the Dakotas. And far northern Wisconsin could even see a mix of rain and snow in a few spots. But tomorrow, especially tomorrow night, the marginal risk of severe thunderstorms extends up into southern Wisconsin, according to the Storm Prediction Center, basically from about Madison and Milwaukee southward. Of more concern is the heavy rain threat. Generally, this is from our latest computer model update, about about 1 to 2 inches of rain, some localized 2 or 3 inch amounts possible in heavier thunderstorms, mainly from Madison southward. The farther north you go, the lesser the heavy rain threat, but still much of southern Wisconsin under a flash flood watch for tomorrow evening into Saturday morning. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville, looking pretty nice out there. The WISC Skycam showing generally partly sunny skies. The Edgewater Skycam downtown Madison, as we're getting close to sunset, looking pretty nice as well. As we check out the almanac for today, our high temperature was 66, but that was shortly after midnight. Our low temperature this morning dropped to 41. Right now, we're back up at 51. We've been up in the upper 50s this afternoon. Winds out of the east-northeast at 8 miles per hour. Temperatures already in the 40s in northern Wisconsin, lower 50s here in southern parts of the state. Upper level winds are from the west-southwest to east-northeast, and that will bring in the next weather system pretty rapidly and start tapping into moisture that's just south of the stationary front. It'll start working northward as a warm front. Now to the north, it's cold enough for a mixture of rain and snow with temperatures in the 30s through the Dakotas, while it's still in the 80s down close to the Ohio River, and dew point temperatures are in the 70s there. Look at the temperature change over the last 24 hours. We're 32 degrees colder than we were at this time yesterday. Our forecast includes a flash flood watch from tomorrow evening into Saturday morning for much of southern Wisconsin from about the Dells southward. 44 for the overnight low temperature around midnight, and then rain will be developing by morning. Temperatures start to rise. Tomorrow look for a high of 59 with some showers in the morning, and then we could see a shower or thunderstorm chance late in the day. As we look at future track, the clouds will come in overnight. You see the rain showers and perhaps a few thunderstorms early tomorrow morning, then dry for much of the day, just cloudy, and then showers and some heavier thunderstorms tomorrow night into early Saturday morning, and then cloudy skies continue for much of the day on Saturday. Those rainfall amounts again in the 1 to 3 inch range from Madison southward, lesser amounts to the north. 7 to 10 day forecast. Temperatures are relatively cool for the weekend, warm up early next week with some more shower and thunderstorm chances. Then we'll turn drier but cooler toward the end of next week.
Will the Badger football team be rusty or rusted when they play Nebraska Saturday night at Camp Randall? Paul Christ gives his perspective in sports.
News
Even though Monday's game at Wrigley Field seemed like the postseason, the Brewers are technically playing their first postseason game in 7 years at Miller Park right now. They're facing the Colorado Rockies in the National League Division Series. Christian Yelich continues his MVP season, a 2-run homer off Anthony Santazella in the bottom of the third inning. That's the difference. 2-0 in the seventh. It's a bullpen day for Milwaukee as reliever Brandon Woodruff got the start, pitched 3 innings, allowing only 1 walk. Game 2 tomorrow at Miller Park. Craig Counsell will go with a regular type starter as Ulysses Chassin gets the call for the Brewers. First pitch just after 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Bad news for Badger football. Head coach Paul Christ announces today tight end Xander Neville is out for the rest of the season. Neville's injury is a new one, a left knee that he hurt in practice this week. To help soften the blow a bit, backup tight end Luke Benshaw is expected to return from a leg injury this week. Badgers play Nebraska at Camp Randall Saturday night at 6:30. They've had the benefit of resting up and healing up during its one and only bye week of this season. Now, some will wonder if restarting the season after a break might leave the Badgers a little rusty out of the gate against the Cornhuskers. Chris says, sure, you always worry about that.
I do believe there's a game speed is a real thing. It's a different speed, and yet, it also has to deal with what's going on in the specifics of the game. But I think guys are ready. We've had some good tempo practices, so we've been going against each other. So you're getting some of that, but not for the length of a game. But certainly every team, whether it's coming off a bye or not, you want to start fast, and the best way to start fast is playing good football.
Congratulations to the Madison Memorial girls tennis team. The Spartans won the WIA Division I sectional. They qualified for the state team tennis tournament for the first time since 2005 today. Believe it or not, it's the second to last week of the regular season for high school football already, and our Prep Mania Game of the Week takes us to Monona Grove, where the Silver Eagles host Stoughton in the key Badger South Conference matchup. We're live on TVW and Channel3000.com tomorrow night at 7. A few big names didn't practice for the Packers today, specifically wide receivers Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, and Geronimo Allison. The good news, though, Jimmy Graham and Aaron Rodgers did both return to the practice field in Green Bay today. Rodgers is one of a lot of Wisconsin sports fans keeping an eye on that Brewers game at Miller Park right now. When he's not playing at Lambeau Field, Rodgers is a very familiar face at a lot of sporting events around the state, and he says when he gets to sit in the stands as a spectator, it's interesting to hear what the fans are saying.
Sometimes you're watching with fans who think they're experts at everything sports-wise. So, I enjoy being at the Badger games because usually a chance to hang out with Andy and Sue North, who I love and love spending time with, and the Bucks. I've been a basketball fan my entire life, and being able to sit on the court and listen is a lot of fun for me. And obviously, we got a good squad.
Imagine if you're sitting next to him at a game and you're like complaining about sports.
Yeah, everybody's an expert.
And then you realize it's there.
Maybe zip that up.
I'm always sitting next to experts.
Is that right?
So, and about the weather, too. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah.
You never miss a forecast. But we do have some rain out to the west of us, a severe weather threat, just a slight risk to our south for tomorrow night. But look at the rain chances. We have an alert day for tomorrow night for the potential for some heavier rain, and then off and on shower and thunderstorm chances through the middle of next week before we dry out and turn cooler at the end of the week.
All right, thank you, Gary. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.